Okay. Is everybody ready, or anybody need more time?
I'm ready.
Yep.
To get freaking owned.
Okay.
To get pwned.
Let's see here. Last time, the party fights their way out of a pirate confrontation. Fighting their way free, they had to give it their all to survive the pirates' onslaught. The timely arrival of Val saved the adventuring team, but nearly cost Riteks his life. After reporting their success to the mysterious group known as the Nexus, the party agreed to meet them at Point Nadir, a shadowport on comet Resh 9376. Stocking up on supplies, the party heads that direction. While Pahd does a little forced reconnaissance, his master is alive and part of a council governing the Nexus. But, as the party races across hyperspace, they still wonder, what does the Nexus want with them? So, you guys have your main ship, of course, the Orphan Maker. You also potentially have the Naboo Starfighter if you're flying separately.
But if we're flying separately, I mean, could we get we could get R3. Well, you could have just given me your blaster. Or did you decide what you wanted on that?
Yeah, we didn't get the conversations in, I don't think.
Well,
Now's the time.
well, I then if there's not, oh yeah, let's I'll go ahead and I did the one for the +1 to attack. I forgot what it was called, but we'll say I just did that one.
Okay.
Because it was discussed, but no specific. That works.
Okay. Val, are you flying over in your own ship?
In the ship that I actually stole, yes, I will definitely be flying in the ship that I stole.
I think you called it a rental.
It is. I rented it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're flying in that. The rest of you are in the Orphan Maker gunship.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a long flight. And I guess Pod's going to be working on the gun. Val, of course, you're stuck inside that starfighter. You can contemplate, but that's about the only thing you can do. You can't do a whole lot other than that.
Yeah.
How about what about Riteks and Denvice?
I mean, I'm in the Orphan Maker, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, we are split, right?
Well,
Two
Val
different
is on his own, but the
Yeah.
other three of you are together.
Okay.
There's,
Making our way through hyperspace.
yeah.
We're on our way to the Nexus group, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I think that we should really go into this with an open mind. We're in a bad position right now. I imagine there aren't very many Jedi left, so we need to make allies where we can.
I agree that we should definitely go into this with an open mind, but at the same time, we need to be cautious.
Very true.
Yeah, I'm searching for Jedi, so I want to meet more. I want to learn more. So I'm very open-minded in the situation.
Okay.
I'm not going to go to start trouble. Anyway.
I think we'd find too much if we were.
Dude, we just took out a bunch of pirates. We took out like a whole city of pirates.
Well, the guy could see me looking at my master. He looked at me. I don't even understand how your mind would be able to look at somebody who's looking at you through the Force, and that's what he did. That guy scares me.
Understandable.
So we going cautious.
Very.
So do we have like a plan? Are we gonna have like an escape plan or a safe word or a?
I thought we did. You hear a key. You hear a key. You hear the key up over like the deal, and I go. I thought it was pineapple.
Yeah, that's right. Pineapple's the word. If you say.
Who left the mic open?
If you sense danger. Pineapple.
We got a community. On the ship they called it a 1MC. It's the 2MC.
Yeah. Like I said, you hear me key up over the thing, and I'm like, I thought it was pineapple. So
yeah,
do I need to sit here and like as we're going through hyperspace? Is there a way that that we could be scanning for anybody that's possibly maybe in hyperspace, like tracking us or anything like that?
No, not really. It's also not something that you necessarily need to worry about.
Okay.
There hasn't been outside of a few failed projects any even attempts made to do hyperspace tracking. The ability to jump through hyperspace without being tracked was one of the core tenets of the success of the rebellion, which, we're 20 years before the Battle of Yavin, and they never got caught then.
Gotcha.
So no, it's not something you'd worry about.
Okay.
I have a question. With the imbue item, talent, when would I use that? Like when
You
would
would
I
use
put that
it
into,
essentially at the beginning of a day.
like what is that? Like I know that's
What that really means is it resets every 24 hours. So you can use it once every 24 hours, more or less.
Well,
and you can use it
at
whenever
what
you
point
want.
in the game, like in
He's
right
saying
now.
why would I use it? Is that
No, I know
saying?
why. No, because I
Oh, you do?
yeah, but
Oh, then
like
now.
when would I use that turn as far as like?
It's I would say it's a swift action if it's during combat, and if it's outside of combat, whenever you want.
Okay.
So right now
right
you could have
now, I
it
could just
so
be
that you
like,
have the item later.
I'm gonna go over to the corner and do this or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Alright.
can just say, we'll say visually, anybody who's force sensitive would be able to see maybe a dim glow around the imbued object, but non-force sensitive people won't even be able to tell you did anything at all.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify how to use that exactly.
Yep. And just for anybody who doesn't know, because of the way I have you spend force points, that made that power really not very good. So I reworked it a little bit, and it functions quite a bit differently than before. Crystal has a full readout on it, and it's up to her to utilize it to its full effectiveness at this point. So
cool.
Okay, so you guys are going. You have your safe word, pineapple, and you're headed to Resh, the comet. Soon enough, you do arrive at the comet Resh. And
is it a comet or an asteroid?
It is a comet, technically. And this is what you see as you come out of hyperspace. Comet.
Oh my god. I recognize it, but where?
And then
a specific comet.
Scanning with your ship. I need you to make a use computer check, or in the case of Val, a pilot check.
Pilot check.
Yep.
Okay, so can I think it's Crystal and R3 together flying the ship, right?
Piloting the other ship, yeah.
Yep.
29 pilot check.
Okay.
Give me just-
What does R3 need to roll?
Right. A use computer.
Use computer. Well, you got the stats on it. I rolled a 7.
Go ahead and pull up, or I'll send you really quick the thing.
Oh, that it's the same stats.
As the R3 astromech?
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less at this point it is. It started a little bit broken, but I sort of hand waving that you'd worked on it, more or less.
Oh yeah, it would have been a priority.
Yep. So now it's got the exact stats of a normal R3 astromech. Minus the unique attitude.
Yeah. He's a dick. Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, so 29 for Val. What did R3 and Denvice get?
I got a nat 20.
Oh man.
Oh, that's what that was.
No, yeah, I was so
All starts
confused.
again.
I was so confused what was going on. I was like,
tell. It was really hard to tell. Like, I couldn't see my screen very well. Like, if you could see what it was.
I was like, what the hell's going on with that screen?
I know.
A net
And then-
20 plus what? R3 has a plus 13 to use computer, so he got a 20 with
28.
his
Okay.
7.
28? Okay. You guys very easily detect the base and some signals coming out of it. As you come into land, you see Point Nadir frosted over and icy. There is no actual atmosphere. You'll have to actually pull into the bay in order to see it, or in order to safely get out. So the shields come down. As you approach, they clearly scanned your ships, and a message crackles through on both your comms and just says, "The Sable Dawn's been expecting you." That's all it says.
Disabled Dawn.
That's what they say. Yeah, the Sable Dawn.
Oh, disabled Dawn.
I heard disabled. I'm like,
Yeah.
disabled?
No.
That's what I said.
Sable
I was
Dawn.
like, disabled
It's just
Dawn?
one girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
I
entire
was
thing.
imagining
The
a man
organization.
named Dawn. Disabled
Dawn.
Dawn.
The Sable Dawn.
Got it.
That's okay. That sounds cooler.
Landing in the bay, there are maybe 15 or 20 ships here. Doesn't seem to be a particularly reputable lot. There's a lot of smuggler-looking dudes and people, but there's also a weirdly large presence of guards. As you descend the ramps, a pair of guys comes up wearing matching sort of black military uniforms that have a patch that is just a silver sword across a black cloud on their shoulders. And the first guy says, "The council's expecting you. We do need to check your ships for stowaways or contraband. It'll just be a quick scan. You can accompany us through the ship if you would like, or you can leave us to it."
What's contraband?
Said,
And
well,
right now,
are you asking
right now?
them or
I
me?
am.
Okay, you're asking them. And he says, any trackers, recording devices, anything that maintains a connection to the new empire, Stowaways, any unauthorized personnel. The 4 of you are authorized. Separatist droid technology. And they look at Riteks. They say, excluding the frame for the shard. And he's
Not loot.
and anything that we deem a threat.
Okay.
I am neither
Sure.
loot nor contraband.
I'll accompany you.
Okay. What about the one that's going to your ship, Val? Do you have any concerns?
Absolutely not. It's a rental.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a rental. This thing's clean.
Yep. I mean, minus me dogging it out because it's a rental, right?
Oh, it probably has a tracker on it, honestly.
Well, if it does, then I'll be like, it's a rental.
Yeah.
Here's my
It's a rental.
ace rental
You're held
paperwork.
responsible for things that are in the rental.
Yeah.
So they're running the scanners over the Orphan Maker, and the exterior they're not finding anything. They quickly wrap up the Naboof Starfighter. They don't find anything on there. The interior, however, they do find 3 tracking bugs inside of the Orphan Maker.
Ooh.
Holy!
Didn't know them were there.
Listen, officer, I had no idea that was in my ride.
That is not mine.
Quickly they disable them, and they say, luckily it doesn't look like they were transmitting yet. It appears that they need to be actively pinged. Since you've been in hyperspace, they probably haven't been pinged quite yet. But I don't know the make. I'm not familiar with it. So we're going to have to do some investigation unless you would like them yourself. Either way, I can tell you your ship is now no longer being tracked. And they hold up one of them. They say, this is actually a recording device. This isn't just a tracker. This is recording speech and other things.
There must be a way for us to tell where they came from.
Do you want them to figure it out, or you guys want to try and figure it out?
What kind of skill checks are we looking at?
It'd be
Galactic
probably
knowledge.
galactic lore.
Oh, yeah, I can. I can sit there and dig into it. I'm pretty knowledgeable about trackers and such. I tend to find stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, I would like to. I would. Can we leave them maybe one, or do we want to leave them one? They found multiples.
There are 2 things that you'll need. You'll need a galactic lore and a technology check. And they both got to be pretty high, just so you know.
Let me do the technology.
Okay, I can do galactic lore.
Where's my galactic lore number? I got a pretty decent galactic lore too. Yeah. Well, why don't we just check these devices?
Yeah.
I feel like between the 4 of us, we could figure it out, and we don't need everyone knowing everything.
Right. And I'd be very curious for us
So
to
are
find
we
out.
all-
And they
are
tell
we all
you
rolling for both.
each of you can only roll for one of the 2.
Okay. I kind of felt like we would sit down at a table together as a team,
Yeah.
start breaking them down.
The big
But-
thing is, as soon as you're done with them, they're gonna destroy them.
Right.
They can't have them here. They certainly aren't gonna give them back to you unsupervised.
No. Of course.
26.
Or which one?
Technology?
Technology.
Okay. So I have 26 for technology. What else do I have?
Rolls.
I got a 23 on galactic lore.
Damn, we're killing it right now. Well, I mean, they plus 13 did it for me.
Yeah, I got plus 12.
21
I
on
got-
galactic lore.
Nice.
There's a fly in here, and
Can I do
I just tried to smack it out of here.
Technology. Since both of you did galactic lore, does it matter?
Okay, so wait, galactic
I
lore.
did technology.
I know,
yeah.
but you did technology, and
I have
I
a
did galactic
26,
lore, and Sean
tech-
did galactic lore.
a
so-
23 for galactic lore, a 21 for galactic lore.
Yes.
Yeah, 21.
Okay, so I'll
I
tell
got
you
17.
for tech or for galactic lore.
That's what I was asking them what I should apply it to.
You should apply it.
Total?
17 total.
It's not gonna matter.
All right. That
Um,
makes it easy.
the technology, I'll tell you this, is not of Republic make, and it's not of Separatist make. It's not ancient tech. It is a society or a culture that is outside of the Republic and has developed a unique technology string. You don't recognize it. I mean,
It's like Outer Rim
just-
stuff.
don't recognize that with your tech check. Galactic lore,
Nothing.
nothing. You
Damn.
can't figure it out.
Well,
Send it to
I guess we give it to the boys and be like, well, we couldn't figure it out. Y'all have fun. Let us know what you find.
I feel like it's from somewhere in the galaxy.
Yeah. I mean, it probably is.
It seems like it exists.
Let me
Your logic is undeniable.
look really quick here. Does that count? It might not count as in the galaxy. I think it
Oh.
does.
Oh. And then I look at
Shows
you
my
guys
level
and
of
say,
galactic lore knowledge.
I'm like, where did y'all even find this ship? I mean, is this not the same ship that they flew out with, like, not Corellia, huh?
This is the one that they flew off of Corellia.
So where in the fuck did that ship come from?
Yeah, it's very odd.
What we could? I wonder if we could investigate inside of the ship to figure it out. But maybe there's something we missed. Some kind of documentation. Some, you know. You
The
never know.
registration.
Do we know whose ship this was? Like, who did this ship belong to?
I don't have it in my notes.
Mm-mm.
You
No,
guys
we
stole
kinda-
the ship
Yeah.
when at the very beginning
Yeah.
to escape the Separatist stronghold.
Oh, so this is the
Mostly
ship
to
that,
escape Dirge.
Yeah.
this is the ship that y'all got in the very, very beginning.
It's that. Okay, so that's
Okay.
Well, it's our second ship. But the first one
Yeah, but
died
it's still-
horrifically. It was
we didn't
basically
get a
the
new
Millennium
ship on
Falcon.
the last planet. I forgot we repaired our ship. It's the
Yep.
same ship. We repaired it.
Yep.
But we be breaking stuff too. So.
Yeah, our R3 spent like 4,000 over repairing it, and I imagine some of that he probably has some like decked out paint and some weird like he's probably looking snazzy. I imagine he
some-
spent 4K extra.
Yep.
No, he's just subscribed to a bunch of droids that
OnlyFans.
sell pictures of their fans,
Yeah.
their internal cooling fans.
It's droid OnlyFans.
See him
Yeah.
moving in slow motion and stuff.
Mhm.
Are you guys going in to investigate the ship, or are you just saying fuck it?
I say we just go in. We'll figure it.
I wanna investigate the ship. Or
Okay.
actually, I want to like take a moment to like think about what we're doing right now, and like how we're about to meet this council and everything. I want to do the damn it, sorry. Instrument of the Force. So search my feelings. I want to know if this is our best course of action right now. Mostly I want to know like if I can know this, kind of which way we should go, how much we should trust them. Not very specifically here, but you know what I mean. Just like,
General feelings. Mm.
Your initial sense is that going into the council chamber is safe. And probably an okay thing to do. You also
Well-
get the sense that figuring out what was tracking you would be a good thing to do. Their only bad choice is aggressive action in any way.
Okay.
As long as Jason Statham doesn't
figured
show up,
that.
we're good.
We didn't kill him.
You
I
did.
myrtleized him.
You killed the
Wait.
fuck out of him.
We didn't
What
know that there was a
happened?
twin brother, Statham.
Yeah, exactly.
What we don't know is
It's
what
like a
happened
tape.
to those other 2 Jedi.
It's the Kmart version of
Yeah,
y'all
what
don't
did
know.
happen to them?
Only Sean knows.
Yeah. This is definitely going to be a conversation for like later on.
Yeah,
Okay.
how would this not come up?
I'm gonna go check
Alright,
out the
let's
ship,
go.
and I want to kind of. Really, I'm just trying to figure out where them trackers came from. So I'm gonna take a moment to see if I can find anything else, and see if I can, link it to those trackers, pretty much.
And I guess while he's doing that, you said there was a bunch of like scoundrel type people out here. I'm gonna kind of mosey around the like airspace like landing area and just kind of see if I see anybody that I may possibly know just from running around doing deals or anything like that. Just make small talk while all this is going on.
Okay. We'll start with what's going on with you, Val. You see a Trandoshan that you know.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Trandoshan? They're like Bosk, lizard people.
No, but that's a Google search I can make. Trandoshan, and you said
and his name is Roark Donovan. He is. He calls himself a bounty hunter, but really he's just more of a
bitch boy.
He takes advantage of whatever's going on around him.
Oh, so
if that means beating
he's
somebody up and taking their money, he'll do that. If he sees a criminal that he can turn in for money, he'll do that.
Oh, so he's kind of a weasel, huh?
Yeah, he's not a super good dude. You've had dealings with him in the past, as he had information and stuff, and he recognizes you and just sort of gives you a nod. You walk over to talk to him?
Hell yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'll walk over. So I go up to him and I'm like, "Oh, my boy Donovan, how's it going, man? Hadn't seen you in a parsec."
And he hisses out. His basic's really bad. You don't speak Trandoshan, right? You didn't take that as a language?
No.
Okay.
I have Hut. Oh, shit. Basic, Huttese, Rhodese, and Shriwook. So, does he speak Hut?
We'll say he's speaking Hut. That'd
Sweet.
be easier for him.
Perfect.
And he's just like, and then that's basically just like, Val, what are you doing here? I thought that somebody would have turned you into just a fucking shit stain a long time ago. How are you still alive?
Yeah, well, contrary to popular belief, I'm actually quite inventive and definitely very soiree when it comes to staying alive. So what are you doing here?
He says he's been hired by the Sable Dawn to basically keep undesirables from coming through the hangar bay. He's just hired security right now.
Okay.
Specifically, they're meant to keep an eye out for Black Sun operatives. The Black Sun has been at war with the Sable Dawn recently.
Okay.
And that has only been made worse by the Black Sun's decision to start partnering with the Empire more aggressively. So, because of the criminal elements and their familiarity with other criminals, they've hired a bunch of lowlifes to keep an eye out for Black Sun operatives, since they're going to recognize them.
Okay.
He also hands you 300 credits due to a long-standing bet he had made with you about whether you would survive another 2 cycles or something like that.
Okay. So I tell him. Appreciate the credits. I mean, I guess they got you for a pretty solid deal to come around here and just boss people around. You know, this is what you're good at. You know, just bossing people around, fucking people up. You know, I knew that you were going to lose that bet.
He shows you a arm of a Wookiee that he's got strapped to his back.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He's like, tells you there's a big Wookiee that tried to get in a few days back, and after killing him, he got to keep the arm as a trophy. He's going to be taking that back, and he's got some tales to tell. Taking down a Wookiee's a big deal move.
Are these so hold on, just like meta wise, are these the same guys that are in the Clone Wars animated series that like are the hunters that basically capture anybody and they bring them on the planet and they hunt them for sport?
That sounds very Trandoshan.
This is what I found.
You're
Yeah,
judging the whole race based on few people's actions. All right, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, I've met some pretty solid Wookiees in my days, you know. I wouldn't count them all as bad. I mean, there are a couple Trandoshans that are okay, I guess, possibly. I mean, can't just hate the entire, you know, species. It's called racism. This is
Yeah.
well out of that.
They're a pretty war-like group, but
Yeah.
I found
Oh.
the
some of them are okay.
Trandoshan's a bit sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
Something about their long forearms and their claws.
Cutting back to Pahd, you go in the ship. Are you? There is no investigation, right? There's just perception.
I would be checking the ship with him too. I want to go.
Oh, okay.
That one.
There's. Let me see. Well, I'll check out what there is, and maybe I'll go that direction with it.
Gather information? No, that's more like a talk, I bet. So.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
There's a search, but that would have been better for finding them.
you know what? I'm gonna find out more about this ship directly. I'm going to get my personal computer to make sure that we know everything, all the information that's stored on this, even that might be hidden because this wasn't our ship to begin with. I want to get everything I can from it. So I want to do a used computer and just with an outside system, or it might be best to do this just directly on the terminal here. Just this is where I don't know. I know from personal IT stuff and compared to Star Wars IT.
Terminal.
Seems like directly at the terminal.
We're gonna do.
I'll use both in tandem, actually. That makes much sense, because then I can do things that maybe the terminal wouldn't normally allow.
Okay, so you're going to be doing that. Riteks, what are you doing?
So I want to know, would my improved sensor package give me any benefit in finding things we need or details about who owned this ship before? Maybe I could see, I don't know, secret compartment somewhere where something is hidden, or I don't know.
Roll me.
Maybe documents somewhere that
Roll me use computer. For your sensor package, is what we'll say. And we'll say you're looking for anything that you might be able to use your sensors to pull up. Whereas I want 2 use computer checks from Pahd as well. The first one you roll is for the terminal. The second one you roll is for your personal computer.
Okay. Can R3 help me with these so I get +2?
If you would like, yeah.
So 27 on my used computer.
Okay.
Okay, so I use computer. My first roll is a 21 total. Oh no, 23 total on the first roll.
Okay.
And 30 on the second.
So,
Wait,
the
no,
terminal-
32. I keep forgetting to add +2.
on the terminal,
Be pencil whipping us.
you don't find a whole lot on the well, I shouldn't say you don't find. You find tons and tons and tons of data on there. And it's really hard to sort through it. The ship's been around a long time. If you start at the very beginning, the ship's been around since the Old Republic, and it's been getting repaired and worked on
That's
since
crazy.
then. So it's thousands of years old. There are circuits and stuff on this thing that haven't been made in millennia.
So it's like an ancient
Tap
ship.
the hood of it. They
Yeah.
don't make a like this baby no more.
I
Yeah.
didn't read about it too much. I saw the thing. I just looked at the weapons and stuff. What I would know is Pahd looking at it. So yeah.
Yep. So it's an old ship. You have too much information is the problem from that. You're 30. You start to narrow it down and break down the information. You still have way too much, but now you've got a sort of semi-manageable data set of when the ship's been turned on, flight paths, life forms on board, and all that for the past 2 weeks or something. Whereas Riteks, your sensor package picks up a few things. We're going to say that it picks up a sort of specific chemical signature suggesting that one individual recently went between all 3 points where they found the tracking devices and bugs. So it was a single individual within the past week that went between those 3 locations.
Is there any way that I can collect some of this, or is this more like an aroma or something that I'm picking up, or?
It's just a chemical. It's not even a
Like pheromones?
unique chemicals. It's the same chemicals that everybody has, but with that high of a roll, you found a unique mix of them. So it's just a little different than the other ones around. So you just know that all 3 of those were touched by the same person, and all 3 of them were placed by the same person, and it was recently. In theory, you could use that data in conjunction with some of the data that Pahd got, but it would also require the party to sort of think through some of this.
Okay. Well, if me and Pahd are in the same ship, I would definitely share that. I picked up a chemical signature as a single entity and moved between the 3 spaces where they found the trackers and recording device. So I believe one person placed all 3 of these devices.
Do you happen? Okay, so I know a little bit about kinetics as far as chemistry goes, and there's a half-life on chemicals, right? So could I get the readings that he has right now, and he could give me numbers, and I use a life sciences check to get our life sciences, physical sciences, whatever you want, it's the same thing, and try to figure out the half-life of this so I know when it happened, and then I can compare that to the logs to know who at that time.
So
Good forensics.
yeah, it would be forensics. So that's life sciences.
Oh, snap.
Moving away from galactic lore, I like it.
Mhm.
It's a natural 1.
Sweet.
He knows a lot about
Knows all
genetics and
about it.
chemistry.
It's 14, but yeah, I had to be.
You start doing the math. Pod, you're putting it up there. No one else notices this because you're doing it in your head. But you're the one who's like, oh yeah, we can totally calculate this, and you start doing it, and you just move a decimal in your head mentally at some point, and you're like, they have to have been placed at some point in the past 7 years.
I'll have to come back to this later.
7 years, so recently.
Just I do write down the data that he gave me so that I can check on it later. Come back to it with a fresh mind.
I want to give Riteks inspiration for that right there. Recently, that's good because
shards don't have a real good concept of time like that.
The shards, like 7 years, is super recent.
That's
they
good.
live for thousands and thousands of years as crystal people.
Quite recently.
Just basically the other day. So that's good. That's real good. You're unable to figure anything out. Denvice, what are you doing?
I, for one, would like to take the opportunity to imbue my lightsaber.
Okay.
Because I never know what might be lurking in what we're getting into here, so trying to be prepared.
That's wise.
Yeah, that's
Thoughtful
it.
decision.
And then just with all of my time learning and researching that I've done, is there any chance that would it be worth it for me to see if I could learn anything about the ship from what they've learned or from investigating anything, or is it just too far out there that it's like I would know if I thought it was worth it.
Basically you would think about it, you'd be like, wow, the ship's super old. And then you'd be like, and it's been getting repaired by every hack in the galaxy for thousands of years. No piece of this thing is worth anything to me as far as information goes, because I don't know when it was changed. I don't know how much of this is original. I don't know how much of it's new. Some of this could be in the past 5 years, some could be in the past 500, some could be in the past 1,000.
Get a lot of information, but nothing that would help me at this time. It would all be stuff that would take a lot of sorting out to get anywhere with.
If you were a researcher who specialized in ancient ships, it'd be an interesting find.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, I guess that's pretty much mainly what I'm up to.
Okay. Cutting back to Val, what else were you wanting to do with your buddy here, Roark?
I pretty much just, after we bullshit about the dead Wookiee for a second, and I kind of get a little aggravated because, I don't have a problem with Wookiees and everything. I know their language and I'm familiar with them. I kind of just, in the conversation, pat him on the shoulder and tell him, all right, well, I'll see you around, and just go ahead and meet back up with the group.
Should have seen if he had some spice.
You guys want spice? No. So you guys all meet back up.
Spice.
You haven't learned much other than at some point someone
in the last 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years.
Put tracking stuff on this ship and it was going somewhere.
Sweet. We don't know shit about fuck.
Yep.
I have a feeling like Pahd was sitting there and he looked like Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover with all like the calculus like equations spinning around his head. He was like 7 years.
You gotta admit that was a pretty scientist.
It was great. He sounded like Dr. Stone, like going through it.
I got a natural one on it because it was perfect.
The,
Yeah.
the beauty of that moment. I just no good plan.
Almost a touchdown, and then you got smeared right at the line.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have thought it through until after the roll, because then I wouldn't have had to.
Okay, so you guys get back together. The guards are still waiting, and they say, like, would you like to go talk to the council now?
Yes, I believe we do.
I'm just following you guys, I guess.
Yes.
They lead you through the base. As you leave the hangar, you see that it goes from a bunch of shady-looking scoundrels to a lot more people in, like, business suits and stuff.
Even shadier scoundrels.
Yeah. These people all look very professional, for lack of a better term, although not like they're paper pushers as much as they are like contract killers. And those of you who are familiar with the Sable Dawn, which exclusively would be Val, you know that is what the Sable Dawn is most widely known for.
Right.
They are contract killers.
Right.
They're hired assassins. So
question real quick. My improved sensor package, is that kind of a passive thing, or do I have to turn that on?
So normally it's just going to be an improvement to your perception and
Gotcha.
dark vision and stuff. I'll let you use it from time to time for little bonuses like before, but in general it's just better perception.
Just +2 to perception.
Yep.
Do we have anything like passive perception like we do in like D&D in Star Wars? I'm just wondering if we're moving through this halls. Would we pick up anything wrong or anything suspicious or?
I would say anytime that you're wanting to use something like passive perception, just tell me that you're being observant as you move through.
Got you.
And at that point, I'll have you roll a perception.
I can go ahead and roll a perception because this whole time I'm sussed out by everything, and really I'm hoping to just see my master okay soon.
Yeah. Plus, let's hope you redeem yourself.
Yeah. 7 years.
Yeah. Let's see. Perceptions to use force check, so that is a 26 on my 10.
That's interesting. You use the force for that?
Yes. Fuck. I know what you're doing.
And then Riteks, you were also using your perception, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. What'd you get?
He's just like walking force, so
So I mean, hold on, dude. Perception. I need to like space these out better. It's kind of jumbled on my shit. Okay. It's not. Dude. 15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say Val and Denvice, you guys aren't doing any special looking. You're just going along. This is, it's inside of a comet, but it's almost, not quite, but it's almost opulent. Everything's pretty nice. The floors are like polished marble. The walls are not just permacrete, they're decorated. There are paintings and things. This is a nice place. It's not just like a hole in a comet. This is a palace in a comet, more or less. Mm-hmm. Jumping to Riteks with your sensor package, you're scanning and you're seeing that the behind the facade of the nice stuff, there is very dense plating and metals lining these walls and things. You can't tell what it is, but you know that the wood paneling and the marble floor, that is all covering what is a military bunker level of security for this place. It could withstand a turbo laser barrage from a Star Destroyer. Not forever, but it could for a little while. Without the shields up.
Note taken.
Pahd, because you're using your use the force for this, you're specifically going to note that whatever metal is in the hallway is preventing you from sensing outside of this hallway. It is not necessarily force impervious, but it is force resistant. You would have to very actively be trying to push yourself through this in order to sense beyond it.
Like when I was farseeing, like I was
Yeah.
trying to get there.
It's not the passive, just what's going on around me. That you very quickly fill the container of this hallway and feel the limits of it. You could push through it, but it's definitely intentionally shielded against just passive force senses, things like that. So, you guys keep going. You weave your way through. You see there's cantinas. There's a little shop area. It's not a huge market, but it's got like 4 or 5 little places. People selling things. There's a little junk area where people are selling stuff that they got on contracts. And then you begin to see, when you get through a door marked Nexus, it just has says Nexus across it in Arabesh, basic. The people within change. It goes from military and sort of scoundrels and businessmen to a lot of people in robes, various black robes and brown robes. You see some of the businessmen, you see some people who look real weird, and you sense a lot of darkness around you. Not necessarily malice, but the people here are not basking in the light side of the Force. And even Val, without the Force, you're sensing that you've moved from the normal criminal element that you're familiar with to a more dangerous subset.
We went to the cartel.
I feel like this looks like a vampire hangout.
Kinda.
Like,
Yeah.
like Underworld.
Like a cool vampire hangout.
Yeah, like a cool
like a club in True Blood or something.
Underworld.
Mhm.
Like a club in
Vampire.
True Blood, or
I've never seen True Blood. I don't know if they're cool
The Vampire
vampires or not.
Council and what
It's
we
like
do
a-
in the
it's
shadows.
like
Always
the
doing shadows.
clubs in Blade.
There we go.
Oh,
So
shit.
industrial
I just
techno.
imagine like
Mhm.
cool,
Yeah.
like, and they're like just the dark and the robes and kind
Yeah.
of that vibe.
They all wear like those really cheesy sunglasses inside, and I'm like, why is everybody wearing sunglasses in here? It's
and
inside.
then the
You don't
80s jams.
you
start.
don't wear sunglasses.
Canonically, a large number of the people here are going to be wearing sunglasses.
Fuck, man, we got some Men in Black vibes going on right now. We're about to get fucking like.
Adding that right now to the lore.
Mm.
Members of the
Black show up.
Nexus wear black glasses. So, eventually you get through that and you come to a large chamber. The door sinks into the floor, and it's a large, maybe 2-foot thick door made of a abnormal metal, something that none of you are particularly familiar with. It's a sort of bright with little almost tiger striped. What's that? What's the word for that? I can't remember the name for that design. Brindle? Is it
Brindle.
Yes,
Brindle,
yes,
yeah.
a brindle.
Yeah.
Brindle. There's like a brindle pattern of a darker metal inlaid with this brighter silver metal as it sinks into the ground. Again, you don't recognize it offhand, although if you want to investigate it,
Isn't
you
that like
can.
a Damascus? Is that what the like metal is?
Like a Damascus blade.
Yeah.
they use and-
I'm super sorry, but I was reading something game related and I missed the thing that is Brindle and what it is. Can you
It's-
just say that really quick?
It's the large door to the council chambers that's
Okay,
sinking
gotcha.
into the floor is made of this brindly looking metal.
Hmm.
The door is like a 1.5 feet thick. It's a big ass thick door that is probably thousands of pounds, and it's sinking in. And as it settles to the ground, the guard who's been escorting you stands to the side and holds his arm out, gesturing for you to go in.
Is it doors that like do this, or is it one single door?
It's one
It's
giant
down.
door.
Fuck.
Think of it like the door to Jabba's palace,
Gotcha.
except for sinking into the ground rather than coming up into the ceiling.
Oh, so
Is there a
it goes
particular
like-
order?
It goes like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
They gotta have some heavy fucking machinery to fucking pick this bitch up.
So, that all said and done, you guys see maybe 40 feet across the room a long table that looks like it's made of a black marble. Behind it are 5 figures. The 5 that Pahd saw in his vision. All of you are now seeing them. They're in the characters tab. There is the bearded man who was contacting you via hologram, introduced himself as Kadan. There is the bald man in the black robes, the woman with pale skin and a crazy red dress along with red face paint, a man in a business suit who seems to be almost not quite itching to jump into action, but he seems like, yeah, that guy seems real hopped up. He's
Contract
a
killer
little bit,
on
yeah.
some spice.
Like
And you also see the Jedi known as the Dark Woman, who is sitting in her gray robe at the table. Do you guys approach the table?
Pahd immediately approaches specifically the Dark Woman.
Okay.
But
What about the rest of you?
cautiously. He doesn't like rush up.
yes, I would be alongside Pahd.
Yeah, I would advance with the party.
Yeah.
Is there like chairs for us to sit? Are we just standing in front of this table, or?
Yeah,
Dude, you don't
what's the
see-
layout?
Actually, there is one chair off to the left sitting against the wall.
Val's gonna go sit.
And I was about to say, is that empty? Because I'm going to sit in that chair.
Either that, or I'm gonna use my telescopic hands to go grab it.
That was my thought. The Val was gonna go there too.
Yeah, I was like
Yeah.
immediately.
I
like,
think
oh,
everybody
yeah.
was thinking.
Are you staying against the wall, or are you dragging it back to the center where everyone else is going to be standing?
Yeah, I like gingerly
Straight up
try to like
Tyrion?
I try to like move the chair, and it just makes that just scraping fucking noise.
Yeah, as you go to move it, you're seeing that whoever put it here had to have drug it like 30 feet from the center, because it's like a 280-pound chair for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it left rents in the ground. Like, you can see where the wax is peeled up from somebody dragging it along. It got down to the permacrete, and it
Nice.
scratched the permacrete.
You don't give a fuck.
You can absolutely move it. You can drag it,
Yeah.
but it will mid and black screech the whole way.
I'm moving it to go and sit at the other end of the table where our party is. So it's like, I know that it's further to drag the table that far to get over there, but I'm not intentionally going to sit next to anybody. I want to Will Smith, Men in Black, drag the fucking chair.
It screeches its way, and the council, I'll give you unique looks. We'll say
sorry.
the bearded man just sort of seems stoic. The man in the business suit is hiding a slight smirk. He seems to think it's funny. The Night Sister Queen seems downright livid. She is just fucking furious.
Or offended.
The bald man in the black robes seems unconcerned. He's just staring at Pahd. Like, he's staring into
Voldemort?
Pod's soul.
Talking about
Um,
Voldemort.
And the dark woman, yeah, I'm talking about the guy who looks vaguely Voldemorty. The dark woman is also barely hiding a smile. It seems to have brought a rare moment of joy to what seems to also be a particularly dark period in her life.
Good deal.
So,